So, between the soundtrack and the criticism of authority and the nihilistic ending, this is easily the most punk-adjacent movie of all time. So what can you guys speak to about the production and the connection to punk culture, just from your perspective?
Well, at the time, it was pretty heavy in Hollywood. I mean, everyone was punked out. We even, went to the hairstylist who was like a known punk hair guy.
Yeah, Attila.
Attila. Yeah. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then we punked out and as much as we could. I actually shaved my hair, had the little rat tail.
Yeah.
And I would see myself every morning. I started to get attracted to punk girls because I would see myself in them. I swear to God.
And also you pierced your ear.
I pierced my ear, which Dan O'Bannon was really upset about for some reason. I was, method actor. Getting into it.
I was in a punk band, so I was in the
Good enough. See?
Yeah. So I was like,
That's slam.
used to that.
I did a lot of punk girls, but that was it. But wasn't punk cool though? Wasn't it at that time?
Yeah, at the time.
It was cool. It wasn't like anything. It was punk.
It was
coming up and it was cool. So for us to be stars as punk rockers, it was like, yeah, let's do this.
Yeah.
It was like we were representing. I felt.
But they still had the pop, a lot of the pop. What's going on?
That's my phone.
A lot of the pop stuff going on. Like American Bandstand was still on. Remember that show?
Yeah, sure.
And the kids would be like, ooh, flock of seagulls stuff,
Okay.
Right there.
Who else? Yeah.
And Bev, you remember my name? That's great.
Yeah, of course.
This is for you.
Thanks, you.
Speaking of punks, you were like the one that kind of was more clean,
Normal.
clean cut.
Yeah.
Was there any off scenes, like behind the scenes, off movie context of like how Tina ended up with that crew because you did not fit?
Yes.
Love.
Absolutely.
Was
Love.
it high
Yeah.
school?
Love.
The idea was, we worked for 2 weeks before we started filming to develop our characters.
Mm-hmm. Go on.
Why? Why?
Her husband's here. Take it easy.
And I said, well, I think it's because he's the bad boy and I'm the good girl, and the good girls always look at the bad boys. And then he got a job because he actually did like me and wanted to impress my parents.
I could afford her.
I could never have gone for somebody like that had he not been stepping up. So that was the idea behind that.
But what about like the rest of the whole crew? I guess that was his crew and you were with
Well,
them.
I think I had no choice. If I wanted to see him, I had to go through all of them.
I don't think you liked some of us very well.
I loved you, but yes, I see your.
But I got naked all the time.
You were hot.
Yes, you did, girl. Yes, you did.
Thank you.
I liked it, even though I was not supposed to.
Right.
She was fabulous.
Did you notice in the movie, after she got naked, and well, you'll notice now, 90% of the scenes when we were running, I had her by the arm. That wasn't in the script. You don't remember that either.
Yeah.
And I didn't do it before that. And there wasn't nothing planned, it just happened. I noticed it myself later.
Well, you didn't know I was going to strip.
That was the best part.
I know, when I got up on the tombstone and started stripping, he was like shocked.
When I did that, I was like, yeah, that was real, because I literally didn't know at the time that you could get naked in a movie. I was like, that one I would say now, but then I was like, yeah!
John Philbin said the same thing. He only read the script for his parts. And when he got to that scene and he saw Linnea, he could not believe what he was seeing. So it was
Well, I didn't say that, so I didn't say what I said.
No,
I didn't say I only read my part.
John Philbin had no idea. He was floored.
No, I knew she was gonna get naked, but I didn't know they were just gonna just put it right up in front of me and just got drop it. Bam, here you go. I didn't know all of that.
That's
I thought they were gonna, would you think that? You in a new movie, you're young, and the next thing you know, they say, well, she's gonna get naked. You figure they're gonna do some movie shit, and the next thing you know, you look at Mother Cooch. That was a shock. It wasn't like I didn't read it, but I always knew she was getting naked, but I didn't know it was gonna be it.
That was fun.
Sorry, but anyway. All right, lady in the back who we can barely see your hands, stand up. There you go.
This is a special effects question. How'd you guys swing the reanimated Homer Simpson looking corpse after his head got cut off, running around?
Wait, what?
Oh, you mean the guy that was in the...
Tarman suit.
No, we really did chop his head off.
How about the one in the cadaver?
The yellow cadaver?
Yellow man.
Look for disappearing person at that date, and you're gonna see.
Tom was in that scene.
Yeah, we cut his head off, and then we got a shorter gentleman, and it was this. If you look at it, it's not a very good
It wasn't.
rubberized
You
torso.
literally see him.
It was good enough.
Kind
Yeah,
of.
good for the type of movie we were
Yeah.
doing. It was
But he
perfect.
he just put it over his head and ran around. Which is pretty funny.
You ever see those commercials or movies where the guy the good-looking guy comes in and he runs up and he go, cut! And then they bring somebody else in to get their ass whooped? That's pretty much what we did.
The same thing happened with the tar man. In that scene where they
Same deal.
knocked his head off. Yeah, same.
It was the same guy.
Yeah.
Same stomach guy.
Okay, I think she get it. Anybody else?
Edward.
Tell us about this alleged remake.
Oh, that's an interesting question.
A remake?
And I'm seeing someone going, no, don't say anything. And there's no remake. That whole thing. There's no remake.
There is no remake. That's yeah, we can't go into a legal
I
person.
know that some of you have seen a video of a tar man dragging the
Christmas tree.
Christmas tree. That gentleman is the one that we're in a lawsuit with right now.
And he's in
Yes,
hiding.
and who's also sold a multiple amount of merchandise under the title of Living Dead Media, which you will see here. But don't blame the vendors. We love the vendors. It's not their fault.
Right.
And
The vendors actually paid him a license
Yes.
for that. So
Wow, I can't wait to whoop his ass.
money.
They're also a victim.
The gentleman-
Yes, I'm whooping that ass as soon as I see him.
Yeah. The gentleman's name is Steve Walsh.
Steve Walsh.
Yes. And
Is an asshole.
he was suing us for $1 million. And now we've turned to the tables because we now realize that he owns nothing, thanks to Larry Zerner from Friday the 13th, Shelley,
Best lawyer.
who is now an attorney, and he's representing us, and he was able to figure out that the guy could not sue us, and so it's turned around and we're now suing him.
Yeah.
So please help us with that. We've had to pay a lot of money to turn it around, and now they're trying to find him to serve him. So it's a mess, and he's now started a new company called More Brains. So he knows that now he's in trouble with Living Dead Media, and he started a new company called More Brains.
Oh, I didn't know that
Yeah, we
part.
just found that out.
Okay, that's enough. We don't want to give away all our damn
Thank you
secrets.
for that question.
What else we know? And then what else we know? And we know this. I'm live right now on Instagram.
We're calling you out, Steve. We're calling you out.
Best screen queen on the planet. Still got that booty. And Mars too. Okay, next.
all right, who else has a question?
Right here in front. I'm gonna let somebody else.
Ah,
Good.
frightening.
Dan?
Really?
Dan?
A little bit.
I loved him because he let me do anything the hell I wanted to do.
Yes,
I don't think
same
he
here.
ever gave me a direction. Except, yeah, do that! Yeah, do that! That's all he ever told me. So I don't know anything about anything, all the shit that I've already heard at some of these previous screenings.
Yeah, no, he was never mean to me.
Me either. I didn't hear anything about what I'm learning about him.
I had trouble with him.
Yes, you did.
So I had already signed my contract, and he asked me to come over to his house and read lines. Yes, and so I got there, and there was a gun on the table and porn on the television. Yes.
He said, you're going to sign this contract right now.
Thank you, the contractor's already signed.
And I was kidding.
And so I was terrified.
Should've went then.
I was 18, and I said, and he was on the phone, and he's one long cord, you know those long cords that were from the kitchen to the living room? And he was in the kitchen walking back and forth, talking on the phone, and I looked at everything, and I was terrified. And I said, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, I have to go, I have another meeting. And I dashed out the door.
Oh my God.
And so from then on, he
was
made
mad at you.
my life miserable on that set because the contract was already signed.
Huh.
So it was interesting.
And 3 days later, she was pregnant.
So when you see me falling down in the mud like a million times, he actually kept pulling up the chair going, let's have her do that again. And so I did that multiple times, and you'll see Miguel and Brian literally picking me up and carrying me because I could no longer walk again. And I'm good with it. I had the best time ever. It's over with now. But the other thing is he took the step out from when I was running up the steps. And he pulled the step out, and he said, and put in the fake one. And he goes, okay, come on back in. And I heard grumblings on the set, and I thought, what's going on? He's okay, let's go, let's go. And so I ran up the step, and I went right through. So when
You remember that scene?
Yeah.
When we were running up the step?
yeah.
So dangerous.
He told her she
He was
couldn't do
harsh.
it. She couldn't do it without anticipating that step.
I did.
Right.
Yeah.
So Dan said, all right, baby, don't worry about it. Go upstairs. We're going to put a real step in. As soon as she closed the door, he said, we ain't putting shit in. Call her back. Call her to come back. That they had replaced it, but they hadn't.
No.
So when she fell through, I think it was
Yeah.
bad. It
It was-
bad.
I saw your bruises. They were
Oh, I can
unbelievable.
imagine. I didn't see it. I didn't want to see them.
Yeah.
Wow.
And there was also the time when Clu Gulager threw I think it was a paint can at Dan because he was getting so frustrated with him. So it was interesting.
Stop spreading out dirty laundry. Now, Dan's a good guy. He was a great guy. He was a great director. I mean, he's the reason we all here. It was his vision.
Right.
You know, so that's
Right.
that's the bottom line.
Yeah.
That's the bottom.
Everybody go through whatever things they go through. You never know. You don't question. You just
Unless
let it
you've
go.
gone through it yourself.
He was very, let's say, eccentric. It's just,
Eccentric. Yeah.
That's a very good word.
I had lunch with him, and that was an event in itself, just to watch him have a meal. So,
Why? What did you
it
do?
just,
Yeah, now I want to know this part.
Because he invited him over, he had porn on the TV and a gun on the table.
Gun on the table.
How bad do you want to be Freddy?
when we had lunch, he had an empty shell next to the gun, actually. I don't know what he did.
But didn't you go to his house and he had nets on the ceiling?
He lived in Santa Monica. He was terrified of earthquakes, understandably, but he demolished his whole house on the inside just took it down to studs and then put plywood up
What?
to secure the house, and then replastered it, yeah.
Wow.
And they had he said he had a contraption in case there was an earthquake at night, like a cave.
Okay, let's not tell how this is
Go to
You
bed.
don't know about
No,
this,
it was
Miguel.
stay there. It was like a metal frame, like a canopy. Kind of.
Oh my
Okay, let's talk
God.
about somebody else beside him. Who else? Anybody else?
Right
All
here.
Go ahead, right here. Go ahead, sorry, you do it. Please.
So, I think Gallagher, I came in a little late, so sorry.
Yeah, just like Clue. Clue came in late to the movie. He got hired at the 11th hour, so he was under a lot of stress because of a lot of dialogue, yeah.
He was really an edge, and like, he was
Yeah.
like a mentor person. How was he like? Was he like a father figure on set? Like, how was he as somebody to work with?
He was quiet.
He's a very serious guy.
Yes.
He took his acting very seriously, and to do this job was below him. I think he needed the money at the time, but so he was not happy about taking the job, from what I understand. And he was, if anything, he was like the normal person in the room of all of us, the normal person. He came in late, had a lot of dialogue, so he was under a lot of stress if you have to learn a lot of dialogue, and so he was under tremendous amount of stress.
In a film you didn't really want to be in on top of
He
it.
hated the movie when it came out, was embarrassed about it, but then over the years he saw the brilliance of it and the genius of it over the years, and he even admitted that he was wrong at the time.
All I remember about it is he had a scowl on his face.
But James and Don were very fatherly. They were very kind and very helpful
Yeah.
throughout the filming.
Yes.
They were lovely.